Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of At the Dinner Table. We are here talking it up. Right before we went on air, we were talking about The Last of Us, video game on PS4 that won Game of the Year.
That bullshit ass game one game.
The Last of Us 2.
I didn't want that shit.
So
Tell me how
here's
you really
my,
feel.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Now, I never played the first one. My ex-wife played it, and I watched her play it.
It's not the same. You didn't experience it.
But listen.
Nah, bro, you can't be in this.
Listen, I had to play it. I just wasn't into it. I wasn't into enough to want to play
That
it.
game was
After
amazing.
watching it, I was just like, "This is Walking Dead," so I'm not even going to. I rewatched Walking Dead. I kind of figure out what's
Far
going
from
on.
Walking
One
Dead.
time.
One,
Nah,
Walking
not
Dead
Walking
is
Dead at
zombies.
all. That's a
Check
lot
it out,
of
check it out,
statement.
check it out. Walking Dead is zombies. The Last of Us is infected. They're not the same monster, bro. That's not the
Yeah,
same
and on top of
Is
that,
it-
like that wasn't
Alright,
even the main part of the story. That they just like a side piece. That's just
All
the
right,
setting.
is it?
Yeah, that's
They're
not the
fighting
main
monster.
part.
Is a zombie a monster though?
It's a Different. zombie monster.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's basically, basically Rick, who is the main dude, and he with his son, and they travel around, they meet people, they get into camps. It's pretty
Not
much
what the
the
game
same
is about.
story.
Not
It's
what
pretty much the
game is
same
about.
story as Walking Dead.
Have you
Not
watched
what the
Walking
game is
Dead?
about.
You can argue with me all you want to. It's pretty much the
Right.
same
You
story.
You
as
ain't watch
Walking
Walking
Dead
Dead.
is
Ain't
about.
no way you watch Walking Dead and you saying
It was
that.
pretty much
Right.
the same
It's
story as Walking Dead.
impossible that you watch all the Walking Dead. Have you watched all the
Anyway.
Walking Dead?
Nope.
I
Nope.
watched most of it.
That
What's
is
most of
not
it, like
the
2
same.
seasons?
You
You
would know it's not
I
the same.
watched
That,
watched
those
all the way up
stories are
to-
ne- those
I
stories are
watched
not the same,
Faithfully.
bro.
I watched faithfully all the way up into
The end of
the
part
Punisher
one.
dude.
That was it.
Punisher dude.
All the way to the end of the first episode.
I saw
When
when
the
Rick got out of the
Punisher
hospital.
dude
That was
died,
it.
and then I watched bits and pieces after that with my ex-wife because she was watching it without me. So like I.
The Walking Dead and The Last of Us is not the same at all.
Anyway, my point was I don't think it should have won Game of the Year. I think I don't know who was in the running, but
Dude, Ghost of Tsushima was in the running. It beat
Right.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima should have won Game of the Year. That game was amazing.
Just off of
Hands
controversy
down.
alone, Ghost of Tsushima should have won.
Well, I don't know. I like Ghost of Tsushima. I love it. But I didn't play it straight through.
That's okay.
Did you play The Last of Us straight through?
Unfortunately.
Did you play it straight through? That's all I want to know. Did you
Unfortunately.
play Ghost of Tsushima straight through?
Ghost of Tsushima, the only reason I didn't play Ghost of Tsushima straight through
I'm not asking you all the reasons.
hold up.
Why? I
Because
just want to know. Yes or no.
the reason I played matters in this conversation. I played The Last of Us 2 straight through because
Yeah.
I was like, yo, there's no way that this shit is gonna go downhill this fast, and they're not gonna have some kind of recovery so I can believe in this developer again. By the end of the game, I was done. I'm like, no, I don't care what they come out with next. No, I don't want to hit. This dude was on Reddit apologizing. I thought that, that this is exactly what everybody wanted, and we was gonna make this masterpiece. And they talked about, I'm like, y'all crunched for that? No.
Nobody wanted that to happen to Rick. Nobody wanted that to happen to Rick. That's what it was.
No.
But you know how they can, if they can redeem themselves with a DLC pack that could just give more story to Rick.
No, they just
Before all that.
let her go. Let her. It was a one-time thing. Just let it go. Leave it alone. They should have left it at Last of Us
And
1.
they made you the villain, so that's what really kind of made it like that.
Man, that game was
I
just.
still
Oh,
liked
man.
it. I liked it.
Honest to God, if they didn't call it Last of Us 2 and it was just a story all by itself, I would have had no problem with it. But the fact that it was The Last of Us, because you had grown accustomed to what you were seeing,
the original story, yeah.
exactly, that ruined it. That whole thing, the gameplay and everything was great.
Story, part one was more. It had more heart to it. I can agree. You know what I mean? So you was invested in every character that you was with. It wasn't just about Ellie. It wasn't just about the
Joel and all that. Yeah,
Joel. Yeah, you was more invested with these characters. So yeah, I understand. And then they got rid of
yeah.
Hey.
Like
I said, I'm still playing through this.
Can you fix the light behind
What happened at the very beginning though? You played to the very.
You're looking
beginning.
like Jesus in the box right now.
Yeah, you gotta fix your lighting, man.
The light behind you. Whatever light behind you.
That's my shine. My swag be like that. Swag in the back. I can't help
Straight
that.
up.
Yeah. Now that. But I don't know. What else came out that could have think it should have been Ghost of Tsushima?
Well, they also had a game called Hades that came out. It's pretty much on my roguelike.
Yeah, man.
That has really been
It's
great
good. It's
as
real
a fall.
good. It's real
80s?
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about like Castlevania type thing, but at the same time it's like a Diablo type setting to it. Like look
top down
and everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
top down set.
Top down setting.
But
Top down
it's
games
good.
put me to sleep.
It's good.
It's like I don't know what it is.
You got no attention span.
Ask them every time I play with them in Diablo. 5 minutes in, I'm like,
you always falling asleep with your old ass. You fall asleep like playing Diablo. You fall asleep with playing Borderlands, man.
Yep.
Borderlands 2. That's another
attention
game.
span,
Anytime I can't sleep, I throw on Borderlands. I'll be tired in like 10 minutes. I'm ready to go.
Play the VR?
No, I didn't play the VR one yet. I think I need the gun to play the VR one because like it's.
Nah, you can use your controller, but you need the gun. You just need a gun anyway. You got to get the gun.
Yeah, I gotta get it. Another game that came out and it frustrates me. It frustrates me a lot, and that is Cyberpunk. Now,
Why does it frustrate you, sir?
here's why it frustrates me. Here's why this game frustrates me. So it is basically it's
A shit show.
Deus Ex, and it's literally Deus
On a
Ex.
PS1?
No, not on PS1. Graphically though,
It's DSX 3. It's DSX 3. You know
graphically though, it's just blurry. It's so blurry,
Yeah,
and they sent the update, and it's still kind of blurry and choppy. Me personally, I don't think it was for this system. I think it was really made for the PS5. And
Well,
it was
no,
not
it was
for the
made
PS5.
Pro. It was made for the Pro.
Yeah.
But they spec'd it down for the regular systems like 3 weeks before launch. So that's why when you saying, remember you playing it, you saying it's blurry, but I'm playing it and it's crisp, it's sharp as hell. Like I don't see, you know what I'm saying? I try to. That's the difference. It was made for the Pro, and it was spec'd down for the regular system, so it could run, within I think like 30 frames per second or something like that. So it runs smooth. It's supposed to run smooth.
It don't run smooth though.
But I'm just saying, the guy. That's why I said it's supposed to. It's supposed to run
Don't
smooth.
run, yo. So here's what makes me mad about the game.
Supposed to.
Here's what makes me mad about the game. So I'm going on record to say this. I wasn't going to. We're going on record. I go into.
Don't say nothing. You can't
About to
back.
get the. About
Don't
to get
say
the
that.
vision first.
We don't have sponsors yet, do
I
we?
go into
I was
the
about to
Chinatown
say.
area, right? So I'm playing on PS4. So the box is basically your command button to do shit. So I talked to one lady. I'm talking to her, but the dude who was selling sex behind her, as I'm talking to her, I press X, she started talking, but the option came up for him I hit it again, not realizing it because I didn't hear her talk. Boom! I get into a male on male sex scene right after. Yep.
Oh
And it's not like it is. Let me put it like this.
You saw some things.
It's literally pretty much like they show everything but it going in.
Blue
I'm
Oyster
gonna-
Music came on in the
That's that
background.
long? You can't turn the
You
TV
can't skip it.
You can't skip
on.
it.
You like
You
my
gotta
controller's broken. It's still off the side.
I would've ended the game and started over.
Yo, straight up, they're doing drugs,
Fucking Blue
and
Oyster
then he
Music.
get on top, and then they just start doing it, man. They just
I
start.
don't know, man.
Man, he done defiled your character. You gotta start all over from scratch.
Terrible. That's terrible.
So,
You gotta make a new character, bro.
That's the wrong story chain, bro.
That your character done been
You
defiled,
lost
man.
immediately.
Oh man, you done
Not
violated
for
your
nothing.
character.
I will say,
Yo, Green, you there? I don't think Green is there. I think Green froze.
oh, did he?
Wow, that's not real.
yeah.
I thought it wasn't for real.
Damn,
He got
I
that
think
weird look on his face. I'm like,
Yeah,
why Green? Look
yeah,
at
he
him.
froze.
He's contemplating life real hard right now. But
Yo,
I mean,
Yep, he's gone.
He'll come back. He'll come back.
All right, so
Yeah,
Green's having some technical difficulties.
Yeah. So what were you saying, Ralphie?
yo, so basically, I mean, hilarity aside, not for nothing, I was shocked when I was like making my own character in Cyberpunk, and
Right, me too.
seriously, just being able, like, this might sound weird,
I
or
already know what
silly,
you're about to say.
but like the fact that we
I
are
do
at
too.
a point now where you can look at an entire human body and it's not censored in a video game
Yeah.
is a huge fucking deal.
Yeah.
The fact
Yeah,
that
you had
you could walk around with your schlong just hanging
Right.
out and it's
You
fine.
had the choice to be circumcised or uncircumcised. Like
I was like,
it's
that
real
blew
detail.
my
Yeah.
mind.
That's a lot.
Real detail.
Yeah.
Choice to have a burger bun, hot dog, or nothing.
You had a choice to have the
You
helmet
could have
on or have
nothing if you
fucking
wanted.
have snuffleupagus nose. Anybody
Yeah.
wants it.
Mhm.
The fact that it's reflecting real life is cool, though. I'm
Yeah.
Yeah,
glad
that's
about
dope.
that. I really am happy about that.
Yeah, it's like overall, I like the game, but there's just certain things that like make me mad. Like
Yeah.
the like, all right, so when you drive, you could put it in third person. I hate games that do this. I hate games that they put it in third person for some stuff, but they don't make the whole game an option to put you in third person. I don't know why they do that.
Like
But
Destiny.
for some reason in this, when you put it in third person, you got to hit the right D-pad. I hit the right D-pad, nothing happened. I'm like, all right, let me hit it again. Hit the right D-pad again, nothing happens. It's literally a good like 2 minutes before it will switch to third
See,
person.
you having problems, like I said, because it was like I said, it was built on the Pro, and they spec'd it down 3 weeks before launch to play on the normal systems like the regular PlayStation 4 and the regular Xbox One. You know what I'm saying?
But mine isn't the regular PlayStation 4 though. It's the slim one, which is the
It's
little.
still, but I'm
better
talking about
version.
the actual specs. It's not the Pro. You don't have the upgraded specs. You understand what I'm saying? It's just a slim console. It's still the old regular PlayStation 4. That's what I'm saying. It's just a slim version of the regular version.
He said
You
you,
didn't
got
get
the
the-
old and busted, and you needed the
Right.
new hotness.
Well, my thing is, this game got announced 2013. I want to say that's when they came out with their first
Right. Yeah.
teaser trailer. So ain't no freaking Pro or Slim out by then, right?
You're right.
So yeah, so this game was supposed to be optimized for base
It was
consoles.
supposed to start from the PlayStation 4 anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I
Right.
agree.
They said even the trailer, like if you look at the trailer, it has no comparison to what.
If you look at the
can
trailer, it's
now.
all PC gameplay.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if
Yeah, it's all
even when
PC
people were doing
gameplay.
the reviews, they were sending out copies of PCs, so for people to do the reviews. And with some developers or YouTubers, if you want to use, you can't use your gameplay of our game. You have to use our gameplay from trailers and stuff to do your reviews. I was like, that's a red
Right.
flag.
I remember that. Yep.
That's a red flag. So
That definitely was a red
this
flag.
developer knew this game was going to play like shit on these consoles, and it still freaking came out with this shit. It's
They should have just delayed it again for all that.
Yeah,
they should've just
pretty
delayed
much.
But you know what? Like I said, on the Pro, I've had one hiccup. Just one. I've had no problems, like no glitching. I mean, I had one freeze, and it froze in the same spot. I think his froze at, Tyrone's froze at. Yeah, it hasn't been freezing. Like, you know what I mean? It hasn't been glitching or anything, and the graphics are sharp. Once I took the film grain off, that little fuzzy little whatever they put over it, I took that off,
Yeah,
and it was sharp. You know what I mean? So I think it's like I said, it's because they made the excuse because they already knew that I was going to play crappy on the older systems, so they made that excuse, just like he said, because when they invented the game, when the game was we first saw the gameplay years ago, it was on the older systems and it wasn't running. You know what I mean?
Is the story on point so far?
The story is good. I like
the story.
Oh,
It's really like Blade Runner. Like
the
it's like you're playing a Blade Runner video game. That's
to
how
me,
I feel.
it's kind of following the standard, Blade Runner-esque kind of plot. They're not breaking any new ground.
No, you know what it is?
Out of
It
the
reminds
ordinary.
me of the last Batman game where the Joker is kind of like.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just took that. It took that premise and put it in Cyberpunk, basically.
Okay.
When you think about how the Joker is haunting Batman, and he's kind of like, you know what I mean?
Really?
It's something similar.
So that's how they use
Something similar
Keanu Reeves'
going on.
character?
That's how they use Keanu Reeves. I don't mean to spoil it,
Yeah.
but we
Spoiler
seen it in the
alert.
trailer, so we know that he's. Like
I was
glitch or
hoping he was like
something.
literally a villain type thing. I wasn't thinking that.
We don't know yet. We don't know
Well,
yet.
I'm not
We don't know what's gonna
telling.
happen
I
later.
can't get into all of.
Well,
how
I'm
his
just trying
character-
on comparison to the Batman thing. That's all I'm thinking of. Like if
Well,
it's
no,
like
I'm just
that,
saying
man.
as far as the way he was only saw by Batman, the Joker.
Got you.
Like,
I got
that's what I meant.
Okay.
Not the character of the
I'm still gonna wait. When I get that system, I'll jump onto that.
Can you clean my garage? Can you steam my carpets? Can you work really fast? Do you provide your own cleaning supplies? Can you work around my schedule? Do you screen your workers? Can you clean my business too? Okay, I don't need my husband anymore.
So let's move on to some headlines real quick that came
Drake.
out. And one of the headlines that came out this week was Mayweather and Logan Paul. So Mayweather, everyone know who he is. He's known throughout the world. And Logan Paul is what I just found out before we went on air, was a UFC fighter. I thought he was a YouTuber. So
He
he's
is.
a brother of a YouTuber. So is he is a UFC fighter too?
No, he's a YouTuber who does UFC.
Oh, both of them started off on YouTube. That's how they
Yeah,
got famous.
YouTubers. They both
Controlling
Viners.
people.
They was the Vine. They was Vine. They
Yeah.
was doing Vines and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like little
So
sketch comedy.
It's set up now. They're in talks to doing it. It's going to come out obviously next year.
Like April,
I
right?
think one date was like February or something.
Okay.
I gotta look at the dates. But who y'all got?
Oh, Mayweather.
Is that a trick question?
Yeah.
He trying to set
So
us up.
here's the thing. Me, you guys know I don't really watch sports. I always look at the news.
Okay.
And I watch highlights. But Logan Paul is obviously younger. Mayweather's getting older.
That don't mean nothing in boxing.
And it's just I just feel like even if Mayweather loses, I don't think it's going to count because he's been retired, right? So it's not going to count towards his
No,
record.
he didn't really retire. I mean, he just had a fight like last year, right? So that ain't really
Okay, so
retired.
he's not fighting anybody. He's doing a bunch of exhibition fights.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but what I want to say is, I'm gonna say from a fighter's perspective, I heard Michael Jai White, and the Jai's fake, but Michael Jai White talking about Mayweather, and he broke it down the best. This is from his point of view, a fighter, a person who's won trophies and tournaments over and over, and he's a solidified fighter, not just an actor before the acting.
Yeah.
He said Mayweather, pound for pound, is the best fighter he's ever seen in his life. So you have to remember, this dude fought. When he was a kid, he was fighting grown men, beating them down, winning tournaments. You know what I'm saying? This is what he was doing as a child. He had to go to Michael Jai White. Michael Jai White had to go fighting grown men. He had to fight grown men as a child. When he was 14, 15, 16, he was winning tournaments with all grown men. He was the only child there. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of fighter he is. That's how skilled he is. That he couldn't even fight amongst kids. He had to fight amongst men. This is how skilled he was as a child. This video footage of all this, documented footage. But he talked about Mayweather, how skilled he was. He said he's never seen a better fighter pound for pound. When it comes to the technique and skill of boxing, and he's talking about just his hand game, because, not all around, because Mayweather, he's a boxer. His foot movement and his hand game. He said he's never seen one more skilled. His dodge, the way he maneuvers in the ring is different from any other fighter who's ever stepped in the ring to him. And he studies fighters. This is a person who's, for all of his life, studied other fighters to learn from them, their mistakes, their flaws, and their pros, the things they do well. So for him to say that about Mayweather and to talk about him in that way, that dude is dangerous. That's all I can say.
I don't know if you follow Max Kellerman, Jim. If you follow Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith on First Take, like even him, I know what Max Kellerman, he's talking about how Mayweather's like one of the smartest fighters that he's ever seen.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's exactly what Mike said.
Yeah, just on the fact that he won't, like, he's not the type to take a fight that he can't win. And on top of that, when he is in a fight that even if it's an evenly matched fight, that's why he fights so defensively. Basically, he wears you down. He waits for you to wear yourself out and get tired and frustrated, and he just finishes you off.
Yeah, he's very skillful. And I think that's going to be dangerous because Homie is going to come in like Ian McGregor did, trying to take him out right off the rip, and that's going to be his flaw. So you got to remember, you from UFC, you used to kicking, fighting, grappling, punching, elbows, knees. Like there's a bunch of things you use and what you do to take down an opponent. You're not just used to using your hands.
Yep.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
I was about to say. I was about to say the same thing. Basically, you got this guy who's an MMA fighter. He's used to having free license to do anything he needs to do.
Right.
You're putting him in a box, and then no pun intended.
Yeah.
And then you got it's like the Bruce Lee quote. I don't fear the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once. I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. In this instance, Mayweather has been boxing for
his whole life. Yep.
For his whole life.
Yep.
He was born doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You got this other guy who's an MMA fighter. It's kind of like in this situation, he's a jack of all trades but master of none. Jack of all trades going up against a specialized master. This is going to be a very lopsided fight.
He hasn't even been doing mixed martial arts for that long. Yeah. So you think probably like the last 7-8 years maybe he's got into mixed martial arts. Because when he was doing Vines, back then he was just getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's going to be a good fight either way.
No, it's not.
It's going to be a good fight.
It's going to be a quick
fight. It's going to be a good fight because they're going to make some bread.
Oh, they're going to make some bread.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to be a good fight.
Sure. Money-wise.
It's not going to be a good fight. I think
Mayweather's going to make like a yeast factory after this fight over because he's going to make a whole bunch of money after this fight. Just like he did with Pacquiao and he did with McGregor. So, other thing that came out, and I also want to talk about it. So I bought The Rock's tequila. And the reason why I bought it is because of this headline. So this headline, Fox News reported it. Dwayne Johnson's tequila brand breaks record sales. Tequila of the people. Tremana tequila?
Yeah, Tremana.
Yeah, Tremana tequila is reportedly on track to sell 300,000 9-liter cases by March 2021. The brand also expected to ship 400,000 cases around the world. Now, here's the thing. So I know there's two flavors. Not flavor, like two types. It's the white and the regular one, which is tequila, usually brown. And it tastes like regular tequila to me. Like there's no I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to be. Maybe I'm trying not to be
Maybe that was his
biased, but
goal.
it just tastes what?
Maybe that was his goal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it tastes just like it tastes like 1800 silver, and it's alright. You
So
know.
which one costs more?
Germana.
What do you mean? What 1800 versus?
Yeah,
They're around the
Rock,
same price. I
it's just,
think
No,
About the
no,
same
Germana.
no, no. Yeah, the Rocks is more.
the rocks is more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's around the same price because like
Nah, the usually a 1800 you can get like just say for instance like maybe like a $5 difference or something. It's nothing crazy, but
'cause I
the Rocks is
paid
more.
$32 for the one I got. It's a big bottle too.
Mhm.
Paid $32. I think the 1800. I think it's probably like 35.
Oh, for us,
So
it's literally the reverse.
yeah, so like it's the same,
You
but
know
it
why?
also depends
Because
on
you in the city.
the where you buying it. It depends. All
Yeah,
that
the way you think
Yeah.
about
all
it.
depends on where you're
You
buying
got
it.
this. You got this dude who, black people love The Rock. Because we know if you watch wrestling, you remember his father. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So they like, okay, in the
Yeah,
black
rest in peace.
people, we're gonna boost the price up at the price. You know what I'm saying? It's just how you sell to black people. It's a strategy. You know what I'm saying? They know.
So you saying make it more expensive?
That's what
Black
they
people
do.
buy it.
That's what they do.
I don't buy that shit. That shit more expensive. I am not buying that shit.
Right, but see what I'm saying, that's not the you're not. I'm just saying the average. When you go about statistics, that's what they do in marketing.
Well,
Literally.
hell, if that's the case, I'm still not buying on Casamigos yet because
Yeah, Casamigos was over there too.
Where's
like
that old
like
man
$52
who
a bottle.
sell to the
Yeah,
neighbors?
man.
It wasn't,
Nobody
but
ever seen that?
I saw
he had
5
it
and
there.
walked away.
The guy I go to by my house, it was literally the same price. It was a little small bottle, but it was the same price as the Tremaine. Like it was the same. It was like maybe a couple bucks cheaper, maybe a couple bucks more.
Germana.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No,
You
you
know how
said
he is with
Tremaine.
names. You know how he is with names,
Blackest
right?
Oh, that's
name
my cousin.
ever.
That's my cousin. That's why.
You talking about you talking about one of the Jacksons.
You know how it is with
Oh, my
names.
cousin.
Man.
But if you're
I
watching
got a
this
friend
and
named Tremaine, man. What the hell?
you like alcohol, test it out. Try
Yeah,
it
it's
out.
good. It's good.
Germana is good.
I don't know what the mix is. I usually drink tequila straight. I don't know, other than margaritas, I don't know what you put tequila in. I know if you put it in a Bloody Mary, it's a Bloody Maria or some shit.
Oh, snake bite. Remember I told you about the snake bites?
Oh yeah, what was that again?
It's the lemon. It's lime juice. The sweetened lime juice though. It's got to be sweetened and
Yeah.
tequila. That's it.
Is it even amounts?
Oh, you make it as strong as you want. But that shit usually strong. You know what I'm saying?
So you could probably do one part lime juice, sweetened lime juice, and one part tequila.
Yeah.
I'll try that tonight.
Damn,
Another thing I want to talk about. So also that got announced is the vaccine that's coming out now.
Man, it sounds like a new hit album.
Hey,
You remember?
So the vaccine coming out, people saying if you want I forgot, I gotta look up, fact check it where I heard it or seen it, but it said if you want black people to take the vaccine, you gotta pay them for it or something like that, because they know about a lot more and more black people know about the history of medicine and black people and how we were mistreated.
running experiment.
So
I mean,
yeah,
you go back to the Tuskegee experiment. We know what they did with syphilis. You know, back in Tuskegee, Alabama. So
Yo, fact check me on it, but I think from what I read, a black woman came up with the vaccine in the first place. No.
Yeah.
no, what she did, no, she didn't come up with it.
Mhm.
What she did is she's working on one right now with Dr. Fauci.
Okay.
Homegirl from here, from New Haven, from Connecticut, that Biden had hired to be his head, medical. You know how Dr. Fauci was for
Mhm.
Trump. Well, they hired this girl from Yale University in New Haven, this professor, to be his. So she's working on one now. But the ones that Pfizer and what's the Microsoft dude? Melinda Gates has, and there's another the World Health Organization is working on, has nothing to do with what she's trying to work on now. That's
Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all taking it?
No.
What happened was?
That are we taking it? You see what happened with the 4 people who took it? They
Yep.
showed like 4 different people. They ain't got like Bell palsy. You know what I mean? They whole left side shut down. The priest who was on the trials died. You know what I'm saying? He put his faith in the damn vaccine instead of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? He's a priest, but he died. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. Like people just putting their faith in this vaccine like it's going to work. One, they made the vaccine within months. There's no vaccine in the history of mankind that has been ready in months. It's at least 3 to 6 years. So why the hell in 18 months?
I'll wait for it to come out of beta.
Word.
I'll wait for it to come out of beta.
Word.
Yo, this vaccine been on early access for about 6 years now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not standing in line for that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So they're gonna release it sometime next week. Let's say Monday or Tuesday. It's supposed to go to healthcare workers. They work in an old folks home, which means that I'm probably eligible to get it.
I'm not getting it. I'm doing the healthcare work too, but I
don't know. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I think they're gonna make it mandatory at some point.
The system exactly the way as it stands. How do you do that? You get people really psyched up about the idea of, oh, it's not Trump, so it's great. We're gonna go and do the opposite extreme shift. As long as you're against Trump, it's amazing. We're gonna fall into another trap. Watch.
Yeah, what's crazy is right before the election, I got a phone call from. I ended up interviewing the guy anyway. His name is Manny. He ran for councilman, I think, and the main thing that his what do you call it? I forgot the name, but the guy who called me worked for him. I forgot the terminology, but he called me and kept saying, "Oh, he's not Trump. He's not like Trump. Not like Trump." And I was like, "Listen, I understand you're trying to tell you're not like Trump, but what is he doing for Black and brown people?
What is he like?"
And he couldn't answer the question. He had no clue what he was doing for. I was like, "So you want me to vote somebody solely based because he's not Trump or not Trump affiliated?" And he was like, "Yeah, I mean, like that's pretty much the thing." I was like, "That's not a way to say it."
Yeah, it's not a thing. That's not a thing.
That's not a thing. You shouldn't do that. Like, and I told him that too. I when I interviewed Manny, I told him that. I was like, "Yo, man, you can't." I was like, "Just because you're not Trump, don't mean you are good. That doesn't mean it. Just mean you ain't Trump."
Mm-hmm.
This is pure psychology at work right here. All this is a man in pain won't argue when you tell him you'll take it away.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
So,
straight up.
Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back and we'll talk more about this.
Can you clean my garage? Can you steam my carpets? Can you work really fast? Do you provide your own cleaning supplies? Can you work around my schedule? Do you screen your workers? Can you clean my business too? Okay, I don't need my husband anymore.
And we're back, and we're just talking about some political stuff. And I think it's a good time to go into Ralphie's lead right now with The Truth Hurts because reality bites. So take it away, Ralphie.
Indeed. So we were talking about not, being anti-Trump and how that's not the same as being pro something, right? We have the special election coming up in a couple days, about 2-3 weeks actually. January 5th, I believe, is the Georgia Senate runoffs. And we have a lot of concerns and questions about this election simply because it determines if the Democrats can control the Senate or not. Now, the crappy part is that in a runoff, it's statistically unlikely that the two Democrats are going to win. If we look at past trends, most of the time when you go to a runoff, if you were already down, you're probably not going to make up that difference. Of course, with the circumstances of the Trump administration, and we got Mitch McConnell in control of the Senate, that's the big selling point, right? We want to make sure that Mitch McConnell loses, not that Raphael Warnock and Ossoff win. That's not the concern. Now it's just to make sure that the evil actors don't get their way. So in order to do that, you need to mobilize people, though, right? And one of the big articles I was looking at is talking about how Democrats need to step up the game and their messaging. And yes, Barack Obama actually made a statement a couple days ago talking about, and he tweeted, matter of fact, I saw this tweet myself. He tweeted about how the idea of defunding the police isn't the way to sell the idea because it turns people off, because it's not about the intent behind the words. It's about the words. No one cares about what your intentions are. If you're saying defund the police, all people think is that you're going to take their budgets away and then there will be no police.
Colin Kaepernick.
That's not what defund the police mean. That's
yeah, I mean, we know that. We know that. But what he's saying is basically like...
No, I got it. Yeah, I know.
And here's my thing about that. And I've been saying it since it came out. No one cares when they say they defunded education, they defunded healthcare, they defunded housing. But as soon as you say defund the police, all hell break loose. So if you mad at defund the police, and I tweeted this out too, and the radio show that I tweeted to said it on the radio. If you mad about that, you really got to think about what you really mad about. You ain't mad about, and if you ain't mad about the things that matter, like education, housing, healthcare, but you mad about defund the police, you really mad about you. This is how I saw it. That you mad that you think in your head they're gonna take away the police, and then black people are gonna come take your shit. Like that's how I feel like. That's exactly what it is. Precisely, and it's not true at all. It's the same thing with. It's the same thing what they said about Mexican people coming over and taking their jobs. That was not true at all. At all. Here's the thing. Believe it. So I'm sorry. I didn't take over your shit.
If you're afraid of a Mexican person coming here illegally and taking your job, you weren't doing a job that was that hard.
Your ass wasn't working. Exactly.
And all I'm saying, this is nothing against people of Mexican descent, and I'm not saying that Mexicans can't do anything intelligent, quote unquote.
Of course they can.
I'm saying if your job can be taken by a guy just showing up, you're useless.
Yep.
Straight up. Cletus better get back to community college and learn some skills.
They ain't, keep it real with you. The best people they're the most entrepreneurial culture out there. Like they'll sell some water, sell some icy, sell some oranges anywhere they can.
Know how to hustle.
Yeah, they hustle. You know what I'm saying?
That's what everybody will do.
We hustle, but like a lot of people ain't doing that. And that's not our fault, and it's not immigrants' fault. Even immigrants that come over from other countries got hustles. So a lot of them come with money, but they got hustles too. So
yeah. And It's just
ones from other
anyway.
countries, they come with a stimulus, so it's a little different from like when Mexicans come over into the country. They don't get the benefits of somebody comes from Pakistan or India or China or Japan with a government stimulus that backs them and their money that they come with if they come with money. Because some of them don't come with money. They get the money from the government. U.S. government funds them and gives them money to start those stores or those businesses that they want to start in the smaller communities. So there's a little bit more to those than a Mexican, because Mexicans literally own California. That was a part of Mexico. So U.S. look at them a little different from someone coming from a country or overseas. You know what I'm saying? They treat them way different and worse. And Trump showed it. He spewed it out. You know what I mean? When the feelings that the only thing Trump did was said what the government was doing to the people of Mexico all that time. So you know what I mean? It was nothing new under the sun. It's just that nobody's ever talked about it.
Nobody said it out loud.
Outright.
He said
you know what I'm saying? Nobody's ever said it outright like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they believe, and that's the way they treated him.
So I don't know if you guys know, but the First Lady Melania Trump.
Oh shit.
Came over here, and she had I think it's an Albert Einstein grant or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how.
What you trying to say? Cuz
I'm just saying. I'm not trying to say no shade on her sunshine. She was the first lady.
Also a mail order bride. So
I'm just saying. I heard
that
she
was a setup. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because she ain't smart.
She did a couple of naughty pictures, but
he ain't no Einstein.
Look, man, I ain't said it wasn't me. All right, Milana, we cool. Sorry. We good.
Well, you're afraid she'll come out in another video to my fuck the site. She's like, fuck them damn kids. She was mad as hell on that damn audio tape. She was mad as hell. She's like, I put all this Christmas stuff up and no one cares.
That was a ride. That whole thing. That was
a ride. You know what? She hated, as much as they put out, she didn't like Trump at all, did she?
No.
Their contract must be coming up. Like the end of the contract when she don't re-sign the deal. So she ready to get the fuck out of there. She
y'all watch her every time she pulls her hands away. Like, no, don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me. Like,
you fucking touch me.
I'm sorry. If I was the fucking president of the United States, my wife would not be pulling her hand away from me.
Right.
She'd be like,
public.
You wouldn't kiss him in public.
My husband, the man.
One time she went on stage to speak, and she illed the fuck out of him so bad until he turned around. She gave him like a fake smile, and then as soon as he turned around, like she turned into like a demon on his head.
She was like,
yeah.
She had that look. I was like, this motherfucker. I cannot fucking wait.
Turned into Michael Jackson in that.
On her face when she saw him, it was just terrible. Like
she turned to Michael Jackson in that video you posted. What was that song? Was that "We Are the World"?
Yeah.
Michael Jackson singing the song. Michael Jackson singing this song. He was singing when he was all into it. Soon his verse was over, he was done. He just stood there and while everybody else was all into it, singing,
like nose going up. He like, what the fuck?
So you paid me for these 90 seconds? That was it. You all done, Rafi?
I mean, my whole thing, we got off of tangents, but that's how this goes. I mean, my question is, what the hell is the Democratic Party missing when we're talking about speaking of black folks? What do y'all think?
So here's for a person who's going to be campaigning soon. Yes, I'm going to be campaigning soon. I started the process to campaign for either school board or city council, and here's what I've noticed a lot.
Oh shit! City council.
City council. We'll be up here because they ain't gonna be down by you. We're gonna be up here.
I ain't moving up there no more.
I'm in Syracuse anyway.
Some messed up rules going on up there.
So here's what I noticed, and I don't understand how because I don't know what the Republicans do, but I know with Democrats, they will literally wait for the last 6 to 8 months, right before the V-Day, to start campaigning and getting on radio shows or talk shows that are black shows that black people watch, instead of doing it the year before or the 2 years before when they start running, to start getting themselves known. And that's what I've been doing. That's why I started this YouTube channel. That's why I started everything. Started talking to people, joining you. Like, I'm trying to get my name out there, and I've been telling people, hey, I plan to run in the future for a public office. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna wait for the last 6 months before election day to say, hey, I want your votes for such and such. No, I'm starting way ahead of the game. Like, soon as I start campaigning in January, I'm on phones, I'm on Twitter, I'm on all social media, YouTube, everywhere, campaigning what I'm doing and showing people my progress as I go along. And that's the problem with the Democratic Party. I feel like they wait until the last minute to try and get on board, and they are not cutthroat like they need to be. They need to stop being that damn elephant that their logo is, and start being the wolves that they need to be. No pun intended. But like the Republicans, they'll do whatever they got to do to win. They don't care what it is.
I think it's 2 points. I mean, I think it's one. It's when you're actually running, you know, your target audience is the majority. So your majority in this country, you know, is European, you know, white people. Be honest, it's European. You know what I'm saying? So you don't cater to the 13%. You know what I mean, or the 16% or whatever when it comes to black and brown people. You don't cater to them until last because they're on the lower of the totem pole. They have the less power. You know what I mean, they have the less funds in the society that you live in. So that's one reason why they do it. The second reason is they think they already got their votes. They think, oh, we got them. We ain't got to really worry about them. They're going to vote for us anyway. They're not going to vote for Republicans. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to vote for, what's the other one in the middle? When you're not Republican. Yeah, independent. They're not going to vote for independent. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about that. They automatically going to vote for Democrats because their grandmother was Democrat. Their grandfather, their mothers were Democrats. So they're going to do the same thing. They think we in the box. You know what I'm saying? They keep us in the box. That's how they think.
So
I think it's those two things. Those two reasons.
I agree with what you're saying, but here's the issue with that. When it comes to black votes, if they think that we're not going to vote for them, we don't show up to go vote.
Right.
We don't show up to vote because a lot of us have it in our head that they ain't going to do nothing for us. So that's why voter turnout is always lower. Like, it was high when Obama ran. It was in the 70th percentile, but back in the 60s, it was in the 80s. You know what I mean? 2016, it was lower. It was like in the 50s or something like that. I gotta look it up, but it was really low. So, and it's mostly black men too. So black women have still been voting, a good amount of them, but black men have voted less. So if you start getting black men to vote, start getting people involved, start showing them, you know, that you don't have to vote only every 4 years, because that's where it gets us. It gets us on the local level. Because a lot of us aren't taught well about civics. So if you ain't taught well about civics, you're not gonna vote right. And then that's why all the problems happen. And that's why it looked like ain't nothing changing.
The other thing is that you gotta stop locking black men up for nothing.
I was about to say that's exactly what I was about to say. You're locking them up and making it hard for them to vote.
That'll be under local. That'll be under local.
In the 70s and the 60s, they've been doing that. That was like one of the main reasons why, because they didn't want that power. They didn't want that power of vote. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want the power of the black man.
Black people votes matter.
Of course.
Black people votes matter.
Oh no, yeah, we agree.
Not just black and brown, but at the same time, when you look at local elections and you're seeing that the Republicans are winning majority the key positions in local elections, and we keep thinking the president's supposed to do everything. That's not how government works.
I'm talking about on a local. I'm just talking about voting in general. So when you talk, I'm just talking about voting. Period. If you're making it hard for a black man to vote from before he's even, you make it hard for a black man to vote before he's even eligible to vote. You
correct. Yes. Right. So that's not Democrats doing that.
I'm not jumping through all them damn just to go vote for somebody. That's how you feel.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I think another thing too, on top of what Jay's saying about making it hard for black men in general to vote, is that you also like it's at a certain point seeing the same faces over and over again and elected officials as far as their, you know, people have been in the same position for like 10 years, 15 years. You're like, yo, dude, it doesn't my vote doesn't matter anymore. You understand what I'm saying? Like because it's at a certain point, it's like, yo, you need to diversify. And I don't mean not even necessarily just the different cultures. I'm talking about people wise. Like you need different minds coming together, saying different things, new ideas. But like you've been hearing the same shit. I'm 40 years old. I've been hearing the same shit for 35 years. Like you, at some point, you gotta come break away. That's one of the reasons I appreciate like young ladies like AOC and some of the new upcoming like young people, even yourself, cause like you have a different perspective and you're not afraid to voice it. But most of the time, it's always been like we just kind of like, as far as black people in general, you just crew off to the side and you just kind of keep quiet and you just nod your head and shake your head like, damn, this bullshit that's going on is crazy. But at the same time, you don't feel like you can participate in any way, shape, or form because you ain't got no kind of representation.
Yes.
And then we ended up with Biden, which blows my mind. We went right back to
exactly what was comfortable to everybody. It's like, all right,
we just went back.
Yeah, so you got a Democrat running for president, but man, that dude looks awfully familiar. We didn't see him a couple times. It's the same dude who's always been. He's gonna be like the oldest president who's ever been in charge. But at the same time, who else you got to turn to? You ain't got no new faces out there anybody wanted to vote for. Everybody keep going back to the same old shit, expecting results.
But we did have new faces. We had new faces running.
Yeah, but the problem is that nobody's voting those people in. Maybe the six of us are, but it's not the seven of us or the 10 of like everybody's just kind of sitting on the sidelines waiting for somebody to fix the problem.
But that's what I was getting to. If you're not voting on the elections, like the elections every 2 years or the primaries, you're not gonna get the people you want in. Or the people that you got
to start at the basic level. Yeah.
That's why one of the things I want to work on is education and get the right education in line so people can know. Like people need to know civics. People need to know how to write a goddamn check, how to balance a budget, how to, the right history, the right math skills, right science skills. People need, and I think it should be around. All the schools should have it, not just some schools, not just private schools, not just not just schools in the rich areas.
You just made an interesting comment there, because the fact that you can attribute things like learning actual life skills that are useful to you as something you would normally get in a private school should tell you the problem with the public school system. The fact that you can't go to a public school and learn those kinds of things has to make you wonder why. Why? Simple. School is training for prison. It is the school to prison pipeline. You've heard it. You've heard that said many times, I'm sure. This is exactly why this is happening. If you keep the populace learning what you want them to learn, not what they should be learning to empower themselves, but to keep people servile, it's really easy to push the people that you don't want to participate into society into prison.
Yeah, it's a brilliant hustle the way they're doing it, but it damn sure is a hustle.
Think about it.
Of course.
By the time you hit the middle school, you've already learned about at least 20 white kings, European kings in this society. And the only thing you learned about yourself is that you were a slave. Whether you're an indigenous person, a brown person, or a black person, you learned about slavery about yourself. You didn't learn anything else. You ain't learned about inventing mathematics, astrology, astronomy. You know what I mean? You didn't learn about none of that. You didn't learn about the people who invented in this country, who invented, like I said, open heart surgery, brain surgery, blood transfusions. You learned about none of that thing. None of those people at all.
I learned a black man made peanut butter.
He didn't make peanut butter.
I was on the 4 train, and there was an ad about who learned.
Yeah, George Washington Carver. He never made peanut butter. He made like 30 other things you can do with the peanut. You know what I'm saying? He never made peanut butter. Peanut butter's been around for thousands of years. Had nothing to do with George Washington Carver. But see, that's what they know. But they teach you that in school. I didn't
learn that in school. I learned that on the billboard.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I learned it in school. He made peanut butter.
Sleep for that class.
He never made peanut butter. But what he did make was the plant, the factories that mass produce. He invented that. You know what I'm saying?
He don't get credit for that.
Yeah, he invented it for Ford, his best friend. You know what I'm saying? Nobody know about that unless you go and research him. He invented so many things that ridiculous, like soy, so many things for soy, but he said it's not to be eaten. He was the first, he's the one who found the soybean and the things it can be used for, but he said do not consume it.
Y'all hear that, right? Ain't no such thing as no damn soy milk. The hell is wrong
There
with you?
there is no soy titty.
You're
As
not
you used to say, Tyrone.
God who found the bean, found out what it does.
Shouts out to Louis Black. Speaking of Louis Black, you know, he got to do stand about that. It came out right. It was shot at the day before the lockdown in America.
Oh, I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's called "Thank You for Risking Your Lives" or something like that. And it's basically his last show right before the lockdown. And he was talking about everything. So
Damn near documentary right there.
It's on Amazon Prime if you guys look for it. So let's get into the next leg of our show. Deuce El Toro's The Streets is Talking, and I want to know what they're talking about.
Okay. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Why are you doing that? Did y'all know
Did you
that I didn't know? That's why I looked at it. That's why I looked it up. So I sent this tweet out probably like 2 weeks ago, and it was to a couple of rich black people in different forms. And I asked, why has it been since 1939? There's only been one black American car manufacturer.
All right,
That's a
I'm gonna.
Now all these rich black people who buy all these Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Porsches, Mercedes, got all this money. You know what it is.
It's not easy to
Audi.
It's not
now
easy
listen.
to get into those things.
Here's the thing. I looked up the numbers. They said Elon Musk, because he's doing electric cars, his cost $1 billion. Now, to make a regular gas-fueled car manufacturer can cost anywhere between $1 million and probably like $100 million. Now, you mean to tell me all these people can't put their money together to make a car manufacturer for black people? I mean, hell, Killer Mike got the Bloods and Crips to make soda.
That's what I was thinking about. I was literally thinking about that.
Certain fields is harder to get into, just like television. For that matter, we can get our own television station, but guess what? They don't allow that. Trust me, Oprah's tried. Bill Cosby's tried.
Multiple.
Other black men,
got her own channel.
Channel, not station.
Own is sponsored by someone else.
Yeah.
She don't own it. You know what I'm saying? Just let you know. She don't own. You know what I'm saying? Someone else own. Mm-hmm. Some white guy. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying. There's never been a black station. BET is not even owned by black people. It's owned by two businessmen. So you know what I'm saying? Just let you know. So we don't even have that. We never had that, and they don't allow it because they want to control the narrative.
They might not allow it here, but there are black car manufacturers. They're just not here in America.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. America. And you mentioned Elon Musk. I was saying he's South African. You know what I'm saying? He's not from America.
Yeah, but he's here in America. But like what I'm saying is, I brought him up because the article I read talked about him because he makes electric cars. So if you wanted to make a car company, someone who wasn't Ford, Chevy, whoever.
If it was that easy,
build it up.
Yeah. Done. If it was that easy.
So I'm just saying it can be done.
Actually, there was a car. The ones you're talking about, I remember the ones who used to rival Ford, who came up with the Model T. That's what you're talking about.
His name. Oh, let me tell you his name.
I know what you're talking about. It was two brothers.
It's C.R. Patterson.
Yeah, C.R. Patterson and Sons of Greenfield, Ohio.
Right. They used to ride. They rivaled Ford at one point in time, and their cars were cheaper and better made. And guess what happened? They made sure they took off the market, and Ford was the one who won that battle.
Well, it was during the Great Depression.
Great Depression. I understand
one of them,
Ford was still being made during the Great Depression.
The main dude died in 1910, and then left it to his son or somebody. And then he went to another town, and then they tried to restart it later, and it just didn't work.
This show.
But do you remember though, before the Great Depression, he was outselling Ford, right? You watched the documentary, then you all right, so you know he was making more money than Ford. So during the Great Depression, why did he go under and Ford didn't? Where did Ford get the extra money to stay afloat?
Well,
so you have to look at all the aspects. The government. That's what we did.
The government.
Yeah,
so
right.
All right. So that was the back in the day, right? Yeah. We talking right now.
Now
everything going on now.
Work like that.
With everything going on now. Everything going on now with the Black and Brown movement, and we getting our own stuff. Why can't we have our own black car company? It can't happen. I guarantee you, if they make it and mold it right, it will pick up and sell. I guarantee it.
The same reason there's no more Black Wall Street.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
No, there's no more Black Wall Street because they blew it up. That's different.
That's my point. The shit down.
It's different now. It's different now. They can't blow it up.
The image portrayed is different now. But what's the reality?
Right. So what about Chicago? What about Chicago then? If you think it's different now, they blew up Chicago years after Black Wall Street. What about that?
Yeah, I'm talking about today. I'm talking about today. Yeah, they still gonna try and tag it. Still gonna try to turn it down. But the train is already rolling. Now all eyes are on America now. After George Floyd this summer, everybody across the world knows America now. No matter whether you believe it or not, is out there, especially with the help of social media. So you can't hide from it now. You can't. It's impossible. It's impossible to hide racism and bigotry.
I agree that it's out there and it's in the forefront, but I guarantee you they ain't ready to hand over those reins yet.
Hell no.
They ain't got to hand it over. They just got to slide over just a little bit.
They ain't
not sharing no seats with you yet. Trust me.
Anyone with power is
it's the same reason that Tyler Perry has the first Hollywood studio. You know what I mean? To produce movies. He's the first.
The fact that he was the first shocked the hell out of me. Yeah.
There was people who tried before him. The dad off of Sister tried. They ain't allowed. They made this shit fail. He had mad bread, believe it or not. The guy who played the father on Sister.
Yeah.
He tried to open one up first. You know what I'm saying? It don't work. It ain't as easy as it would look. It would seem. It ain't just the money. They don't care. Because Bill Cosby had the money to get it ready. He had the money to buy Time Warner.
2 times over.
Hell no, get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting this. So it ain't about the money. It's about them letting you do it. You have to remember, Dr. Umar said I don't believe everything everybody say, but he said one thing that I do agree with. Black people got this notion that Lincoln gave us freedom when you was only given liberty. Liberty and freedom are two different things. Liberty says you get to do what I allow you to do. Mm-hmm. Freedom says you get to do what you want to do. We was given liberty, never given freedom. And we got it until we get freedom. The thing you're talking about, free to do whatever we want, like build our own car, whatever, you know what I mean? Or whatever we want to do, then we'll be able to do things like that without somebody saying you can't do that. But right now, we only got liberty. We don't got freedom.
And that was a compromise.
Yeah, that
was a compromise because Lincoln said it himself. If he could end the Civil War without having to deal with slavery, he would have done it.
Right. He didn't care about freeing the slaves.
Well, he didn't really free the slaves.
He didn't free them. That's what we're saying.
That's another episode of At the Dinner Table we're talking
about. That's what we're saying. He didn't free anybody. He didn't give no freedom to anybody. He gave you liberties. You know what I'm saying? He didn't give you freedoms. You know
let's hear about what the streets is talking about.
All right. Now entertainment. Tasha Smith alleges that Tyler Perry is asexual, and she quotes by saying he's like the uncle who doesn't have sex. So I don't know
what the hell's an asexual? What is that?
Kind of like a person
what's that?
Far in touch with the feminine side. You know what I mean?
No asexuality.
No sexual preference. No sexual.
Yeah, they have no sexual attraction to people.
Okay, no sexual preference. So, but Tyler Perry goes on in an interview and he says that he was raped by two men and women.
I saw that interview. That was like years ago.
Well, yeah, but the interview is coming back up because of what she's saying. People are bringing it back up. So, but why is she saying that about Tyler Perry? Like,
that's my thing. I was wondering. That's exactly what I was wondering. I'm like, why is this news? Like, what does that have to do with him being Tyler Perry?
Right. So I was like, is it because I was just thinking maybe he didn't. She probably wanted Tyler Perry. He ain't want her or something. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out why. Because he's married with kids. Yeah, I'm about to say that he's married, beautiful wife, kids. Yeah, he has a beautiful family. So I'm just trying to figure out why. I mean, she always plays those hood sisters. She looked like that's who she really is too, and she's not bad looking.
Wow,
she's not bad looking or anything like that. She got body, all that good stuff. But I just wonder why she brought that up. Like, why would that be the thing to say about the guy who gave you movie roles and TV show roles? And why would you throw him like that? Say he's like the uncle who doesn't want to have sex. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what does that mean? Like,
how about this? Because I'm trying to piece it together myself. Like, how the hell? Why is that even a controversy? Because the fact that he has no interest in sexual relationships shouldn't be news.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
Then here's this. Think about the way we think of masculinity and the way we think about masculinity in the Black community. Think about that. Right. The fact that you could say just about a Black man, he's not even interested in sex. He's not even interested in the thing that supposedly, according to mass media and everybody and whatever,
all Black men
we've all been told, that's all you care about as a Black man, right? That's all you want to get some ass. But it's like, oh, he's not interested. How much of a man is he? Therefore, if he's not much of a man, he's probably lacking in a whole lot of other areas in his life too. It's trying to drag this man down in the worst way.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Man, that's fucked up.
That definitely makes sense.
It's true. It's true, but that's fucked up.
That's fucked up.
That don't make no sense. That's
no, I mean, his logic on what he was saying is makes sense of how is she trying to portray him. That makes sense.
I agree with what you're saying. I'm saying
that's crazy.
If that is true.
Right. Listen, I remember having a discussion back in the day with this lady. She once said that men, she had science facts to back it up that men, and I know she was just talking about Black men. It was a white woman. She just said men in general, though, think about sex every 30 seconds of the day.
I remember that.
Every 30 seconds you think
about something about that.
I was like, that's a fucking lie. It makes no sense. I don't think about
never get anything else done.
Right. I was like, I don't think about sex every 30 seconds. What the hell? It was ridiculous. Who made this up? And of course, it was a study done by women. But I'm just saying, why would you even think that every 30 seconds I'm thinking of something sexual? That's crazy.
Damn well it's 45 seconds. I need to get this study right. Not 30. 30 is too short. It's 45.
I could be making a beat. Something I'm just using this. I can be making a beat or whatever. Sometimes it can take me 2 hours to work on this damn beat. Not once in those 2 hours do I think about something sexual. Really? I'm like, ooh, the way I'm hitting this key, I'm stroking this key.
Sound like you thought about this before.
You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous.
Keep it real. Women think about sex either just as much or not more than.
Well, that was my reply. And she had science, according to her, she had some facts that's not true. No, they think about less. You know what I mean? She had a specific time, but I can't even remember the time she said women.
It's like somebody who got cheated
who gets
on.
No
who got beat up and then cheated on. Who got beat up and then they didn't get called back in the morning. by
Yeah.
a couple of dudes. You got beat up, a
It
couple
was
of
ridiculous.
first
I
one
was
night
like,
stands.
your logic
And then-
makes no sense. Matter of fact, we was having a discussion. So I'm sitting there having a discussion with her, and not once did I think of anything sexual, but that this bitch is crazy. That's the only thing I was thinking about. You know what I'm saying? Nothing about sex. I'm just thinking about how crazy she sounds. You know what I'm saying? That her logic of men or what she think about men is ridiculous. But yeah, I can see with homegirl Tasha Smith, you know what I mean, alleging that he was asexual because he didn't want to smack her, but you know what I mean, he didn't want to get down with her or something like that. You know what I'm saying? She probably came on to him and he was like, no. He probably talked to her in the Medina, girl, get back. You know what I'm saying? Talked to her in the Medina voice and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't that something though? You opened up a can of worms here though. Because
That's
think
fucked
about it. What's her end goal? Why would you even try to make something like that news?
Right. And what is crazy
What's
is
the
when I
end
read
goal?
the article, I'm like, why is this even an article? So it made me click on it. I'm like, why is she trying to diss Tyler Perry? So you know what I'm saying? I click on it and that's basically what she was talking about. Yeah, he's just like like I said, I quoted her. He's just like the uncle who doesn't have sex. So how the hell he had kids? You know what I'm saying? If he ain't having sex,
what
he's having
uncle
sex.
don't
That's
have
what,
sex?
yo,
Like,
because you took the words out my mouth. I'm like, yo, what kind of
what type of country shit is that? I never heard of that. The uncle that don't have, like, is that like the uncle who don't molest you? Like,
Yeah,
what is that?
exactly.
Who says some crazy shit like that?
Yo.
Keeping track of her uncle. Like, I don't know.
Oh,
Basically,
man.
Man, I was trying to get my uncle to molest me.
I think basically she was trying to take
Yo, is this a
jabs at
South
his,
Park episode
like you
now?
said, I
Jesus.
think she was trying to take jabs at his masculinity. I think she was trying to find a new way, an undercover way to call him gay. You know what I'm saying? And saying basically he got married just to save face and have kids just to save face. We know it's been done before, so it's not like men don't do it. You know what I'm saying? They do it a lot.
And I mean, he can have sex
Especially
to
in
have kids
entertainment.
and not enjoy it.
Yeah,
Let's be
especially in
real.
entertainment. You know what I mean? So
Child support.
I have no idea why she would throw him under the
Said
bus.
child support.
Yeah. All right. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was this PlayStation 5 the scandal that's going on. All right. So a couple people I've looked at, I watched a few videos on this thing. People going into Walmart after they see online that they have consoles of PlayStation 5s in the store. So one dude, he goes in there and he goes into Walmart. They tell him, no, we don't have any. We haven't had any at all, ever. We never had them in stock. You have to order online. So he, being, a little bit smart, he got the barcode. He went back in the store and had, a random worker, the ones that with the yellow vest that has the little scanner on them to see what's in
Customer
stock.
service reps,
Scan the barcode. Lo and behold, 6 sitting in the back. You know what I'm saying? So they got 6 in stock. So he goes back to the manager and he's like, hey, I was here earlier. I'm here again. They saying you have PlayStations in stock. So that was one video. You know what I mean? He went through, a long thing with it. He didn't get the PlayStation because they denied it the whole time. Then there was another guy who goes and does the same thing, at a different store in a different town. But what's going on is that these people are hoarding them, having people come buy it because you can't buy them. If I work at Walmart and we got PlayStation 5s, I can't buy one. It's against the rules. But I can have somebody come buy it for me and then sell it for, a better price. So this is what's going on. A lot of people are seeing this happen because he went to the store. He actually was an Uber driver. And he had somebody who just left the store and had a PlayStation in a bag. They're literally putting them in garbage bags, so you can't walk out in a Walmart bag. So they don't want nobody seeing them, and they only put one on display at a time. One on display at a time.
It's something that has been happening for years. Like
This
I
is
know,
ridiculous.
I knew a dude that worked at GameStop. Used to do the same type of shit. I know when the Switch, I think it was the Switch, when the Switch was coming out, there was another story around the same type of thing going on.
Oh, right. I remember that.
That's
right.
That was a Switch. Everybody was trying to get it at one
Yeah.
point.
Like
Yeah.
they usually put them in the back, and until they put it, as soon as they put them, like until
freaking
they
bots.
put them out on display, until they put them out for sale. If they got them in back in stock, it does not matter until they put them out until they put them out for display and put a price tag on it. You are not allowed to buy them. So they could have 20 back there, and they just keep them for themselves. It don't.
So,
happen
and that's what he's saying. They're literally lying to customers when you go to these Walmarts saying, "Can I get a PlayStation 5?" And it's not with the Xbox because I see them on shelves, but I don't see PlayStations at Walmarts. So when you go there and you try to get it, they be like, "No, we don't have any." But then you check at their store location, Walmart app, or you know what I mean? And it says that they have them in stock at their store.
Mhm.
Like Walmart factory has shipped a certain amount. Some of them say limited. Some says it tells you the number. You feel what I'm saying? And they're hoarding them. They're keeping them for themselves and their friends. You know what I'm saying? And these dudes like kind of like lost it and went on like a super rant in the store. So you know what I mean? But they was warranted because you had this dude. You literally told him no, you didn't have any stock, and y'all never had any in stock. Then the guy goes back there with the barcode. He didn't throw the lady under the bus because she was an older woman, an older black woman who gave this because it was a black dude, the first guy, who scanned the barcode for him and let him know. He didn't throw her under the bus, but he let the manager know that one of his employees just scanned this barcode and it says he has him in the back. You know what I'm saying? And when the guy went back, he says he's going to go back and check. He comes back and says, "Oh yeah, we sold them, and then the ones you're seeing was already stolen." You know what I mean? They were stolen, misplaced. And we said misplaced. He said they were misplaced, but the guy asked him, he said, "I thought you told me this morning that you had never had none in the store." So now you got 2 misplaced PlayStation 5s in the back somewhere, and you just sold 4 this morning, but you never had none in the store this morning when I came at all. Which one is it? You know what I'm saying?
Right, doing dirt.
Crazy.
People are getting too greedy, man. Like it's out of control. Like people are like buying up stuff, they're trying to cheat people. Like it's too much. They doing way too much.
Jay, you heard about the scalpers,
like, it's not even that serious. It's not even that serious.
You heard about the scalpers, Green?
Believe it or not, I remember this happening with Elmo dolls. I don't know if y'all remember back.
Oh, man, I remember
that.
The Tickle Me Elmos.
Damn, we know.
Yeah, that was like 10, 15 years ago, right?
Yeah, people were buying them things in the parking lot for $300, $400 bucks for their kid, and it was only $50 dolls. Just let you know, the dolls was only $50 in the store.
Mm-hmm.
But people were selling them out. Like you would have Walmart. I mean, back before they got a little bit more strict on the way they work. You have Walmart employees coming right out to the parking lot selling you these dolls for $300-$400. So it's not like it's the first time this has happened.
It's literally turned into a racket now. Like straight up.
Yeah.
Because like even on Amazon, you try to buy it and it's like the prices are out of control. Even for like the Switch, you know. Yeah. But that's it. You got anything else? Or that's it?
No, that was it for now. That's all I wanted to say. You know what I mean?
So we had a good show today. One of the things I want to leave people off with is because we are at a dinner table, and
wash your hands.
Because I'm a chef, I'm gonna give out some recipes for people to do something real easy and simple. It's the holiday season, it's Christmas. Some of y'all should got y'all Christmas shopping done. Some of y'all waited until last night, like I did, and I gotta buy like 2 more things. The Christmas thing that I make is very simple. It's monkey bread. It's real easy to do. You ain't a whole lot of prep. It's real simple. It's what you do. You go to the store, buy yourself Granny's flaky biscuits. Peel them in half. You roll them into balls. Roll them in cinnamon sugar. Get you a baking sheet pan, not a sheet tray, but a dish pan. You spray the pan. You put them in. After you roll them in salt and pepper, I stuff mine with chocolate chips. You take brown sugar, dark brown sugar, and butter, preferably unsalted. You do equal amounts, so pound per pound, and you melt it down till it turns into caramel. Pour it on top. You bake it with the directions of the Grand's biscuits. When it's done, you got yourself some tasty monkey bread.
Hold on, you said you
do what? Salt and pepper?
Yeah, you said salt and pepper, bro.
Oh, cinnamon sugar.
The second time, yeah, you said salt and pepper. I was about to say that's some.
You sure I said salt and pepper?
Yeah, you said salt and pepper.
I said salt and pepper, bro.
Yeah, I'm about to put some salt and pepper in there. You know, fuck the Christmas, bro.
All in the monkey bread.
Cinnamon sugar. I swear I said cinnamon suger.
The first time you did. But then the second time, that's why I said I'm listening.
No, I said unsalted butter.
No, before
preferably,
that.
Preferably salt unsalted butter.
Bro, you said roll it in salt and pepper.
I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at it.
I was like, you've been drinking.
Hey, look, I'm paying attention.
We're We're awake. We caught
We are
that.
completely awake.
So that's quick, easy Christmas dessert. People love it. Pull them apart, eat it. And I have some more.
Well, try that recipe.
dishes for you guys.
It's good as hell.
Yeah,
He made it for us before. It's good. It's mad good.
Yeah, it sounds
I never
good.
tried it.
Sounds
Damn.
delicious.
Well, Green, you gotta come around. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, he wasn't there. He was at my house and he made it.
Yeah, I made it with his son. They say he was too hyper. I gave him a job to do. He did the hell out that job.
And then he ate that and became hyper.
Did the hell out that job. It's something quick you can do with the kids too. It's real easy.
Yeah, that sounds something good I like to make.
And do not add salt and pepper.
Don't
I'm not,
add
I will
salt
not
and
add salt and pepper.
pepper. Cinnamon sugar. I don't know. I don't remember saying salt and pepper, but I'm gonna look at the video. I want to leave people with a PSA, and that is that there is a difference between racism, bigotry, and being anti-racism, racism, bigotry. So what that means is, just because you say you ain't racist and you ain't a bigot, doesn't mean that you don't fight against people when you see them doing racism and bigotry. All right. So like, if you are anti-racist and you don't stand for racism, just make sure that you fight against it, because standing there and doing nothing is literally worse than the people that are doing it. And that is my PSA. This is At the Dinner Table. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for having a conversation, as we always do. We always chop it up. And we will see you guys next week.